pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty tight. Pretty tight ending.
Just like we planned it.
Just like we never talked about. I'm Adam Manis.
And I'm Peter Martin.
And you're listening to the You'll Hear It podcast.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1.
Oh, he's counting it out for
3,
you.
4, 5, 1, 2.
Yeah.
It's in 7.
It is in 7, yeah.
Wow. I always forget about that.
You wrote it. Were you not aware of that?
Yes. It's been a while.
It has been a while.
I'm good. Yeah. Music explored. Sorry. How are you doing?
I'm good. Explored, brought to you by Open Studio. Go to openstudiojazz.com for... your jazz lesson needs Peter. I'm not quite OCD, but I'm just OCD enough that I have to finish the phrase once you start.
So you're OCD. You're not OC don't.
Okay, we'll cut that out. I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm good. I'm good. It's a beautiful September day here.
It's gorgeous
in St. Louis.
here in St. Louis.
75 degrees. Only problem is it's November 20th.
That's right.
There's that.
That is
no,
right.
November 19th. Happy November 19th day.
Is this a holiday? Yeah. I didn't know. I wasn't aware.
Yeah, it's called You'll Hear It Day.
It's called You'll Hear
It Recording Day.
I think we should start it. If it's not already official, we should start an official, this is You'll Hear It Day. This is your day to hear it.
It is. It's actually a special day because we're introducing a new feature, which we haven't done in a while. Which always gets a new theme song.
Wait. Hold on. Is it a new feature or is it a feature we haven't done in a while? Because those are
it's
two.
It's a new feature.
Okay.
We haven't added a new feature in a while is what I mean.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying now. But this is, so the name of the feature is?
We don't know yet.
Okay.
It's stuff we're checking out.
Okay.
That's the working title.
I feel like this is an old feature though. We've done this before, have we
but
not?
we've never done a sort of a check-in. Well, maybe it's been a while. Like kind of on just new stuff, things we've been listening to.
Things we've been listening to. Okay. I like this.
Yeah.
Well, let's start off
Am I interrupting you with my playing? So, fun things that have happened on the pod in the last week.
Yeah.
We've had a little bit of role reversal.
I don't know what you're talking
today,
about.
you were dressed more as I was earlier, a little bit more open and flamboyant, right? And I'm a little bit more tight-knit.
Careful.
A little more professorial, a little bit. Because we had some, I took it as a little bit of blowback on the episode the other day.
What are you talking about?
You got a lot of compliments on your attire.
Yeah, like a compliment, like you look like a public bus driver.
Well, no, but I also feel like we got to text each other. If it's a tie day, it's a tie. I didn't get the text.
Man, you know what? I like a tie. I'm going to say it. I love a tie.
What about an ascot? I'm going to text you on that.
I told
next
Caleb
ascot.
a couple weeks ago, I'm about 6 months away from ascot territory. Like I'm getting there. I
got
got
a
to
birthday
get
coming up.
I know. No, I might start flirting with scarves and ascots because I do like a look around the neck. You know what I mean? It's a good look.
That's right.
I like a tie, and yeah, I did. I saw the bus driver comment, and I felt it. I was like, I get that. But it was closer to sort of like, well, we can get into that later. But yeah, what's what you're wearing now?
Part of my problem today was I was up early this morning.
Yeah.
And I had to go out to West County, which is always quite a journey. And it was cold. It wasn't cold, but it was chilly.
Yeah.
You know, we haven't had the heat on in our house yet, so the house is a little bit cold. And so I put this on, but now it's warm out, so I feel a little bit more buttoned up. But I'm excited.
I like it, man. You ever see footage of like old baseball games and everybody's wearing like a full suit with a tie?
Yeah.
And now everybody's wearing like sweat shorts
Yeah.
and just the jersey of their
Sweat
player.
shorts.
Which is both are fine. But
What are sweat
part of me,
shorts?
I'm like, let's put on a suit and be a person.
That could you imagine? Let's go down.
Let's put on a t-shirt.
Could you imagine us going down to a Cardinals game with a suit on? We would get patted down, and we'd be flagged as security risks if we did this. Like a top hat and
A top hat, like
no, but it's kind of like
you're
used to
getting
see
into like make baseball great again territory, buddy. Be careful.
Hey.
Yeah.
So, but like it's kind of like, you know, people used to dress nice on the airplanes. Now it's beyond just your everyday attire. It's like a race to the bottom. It's like put on pajamas and bring a blankie and a pillow for a 90-minute flight. I'm like, really? I mean, I know it's an early flight, but really, you need your full bedding accoutrements for the flight?
Put in the comments if you bring your full bedding accoutrements for a 90-minute flight, because I fear you. I like it when the people, they show up in slippers and sweatpants.
Yeah.
To a 2-hour flight to like New York
and
City.
Snacks and like I'm like, is this a survivalist or is it just a flight to LaGuardia? What's going on?
We got to give a little bit of grace because flying can suck. Flying sucks. Traveling sucks. Airports.
Yeah.
What was that? Was that Grace music?
That was a little bit. That was some sad flying music.
But you know what I mean? Like people are stressed. They're anxious. Whatever brings them comfort.
Okay.
I'm okay with.
Good.
But also, you know, sometimes feels good to put on a suit. Be a person.
That's right. Okay, so what we thought we would do to present for you guys And this is as much for each other, I think, too. It's just like different things that we're checking out. We always talk about like back in the day where, you'd be like, man, did you hear this record that I got? Did you hear this new thing? But sometimes the new things are old things. It's like, is it new to us? I'm always interested when I discover something that maybe has been around for a while. And actually all this stuff, I didn't even check the dates on any of this. I don't think any of this stuff is particularly new. I'm not sure about yours. I don't think so either. So
I have one that came out this year.
Okay.
And then, all the other stuff is not as new. But I think that's about appropriate ratio, Peter. Like, if you look at what your favorite musicians, like, people are very public with what they're posting. And we're going to start being a little more public on our Spotify channel about what we're listening to for sure. But like, there should be a good mix of a little new stuff and a lot of old stuff. Because there's so much old stuff to get through. So especially as you get older and you're not as like swayed by popular music.
Right.
I think like a good mix is one new album and like 3 older albums, because you got the whole history of recorded music to go through. I'm still trying to get through my like Bach cantatas.
Bach.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
Those aren't new.
No, they're not at all.
But it could be a new recording of them.
For sure. But I'm just trying to like get to the basics.
Right. Okay. Well, the first one that I picked, maybe we'll just go back and forth, and we'll have a link to the playlist for this if you guys are interested in any of this music, is from a band I kept hearing about, and I had heard, but I never really check them out. Like, do you have groups like this, artists that, or bands that you're like, what they sound like, you've heard them, but you've never sat down and really explored them?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so I always like to give kind of a good listen. And this is Ezra Collective. And I've been hearing about them for a few years. And actually this record's from 2020. I thought it was a little bit older, but I'm always interested to see what really anybody, especially a newish type artist, would do with a classic, because I love, like, so we're gonna listen to Footprints, of course. That was the reason we played Footprints at the beginning of this. You can hear what we did with it, a little impromptu thing. But the idea is like, what are you going to do with Footprints? Wayne Shorter was still around in 1920, the composer, and what has he done with it? It's like, you better bring something different. Don't worry about trying to be better. Don't be worried about trying to duplicate. Just like, what are you going to bring to the party?
Yeah, you better have a perspective.
And I love Wayne Shorter. I love this period. I love this composition. And some of you may be surprised that I really have been enjoying this track. But let's check it out, and then you can let me know what you think. Ha.
Hey.
So, thoughts, feelings? You feeling it?
I'm feeling the Dilla beat.
Yeah.
For sure. It does sound...
Stagger, stutter?
You know what it is,
stagger?
I love it. It does sound, with the footprints, it sounds like something you'd hear like coming out of the new school practice rooms or something.
Really?
You know what I mean? Like what if we did a diddle beat to footprint?
Right.
It sounds
right.
like, actually, you know what I thought of about halfway through listening to that is like, I bet this came out of a live jam situation.
Right.
Like I bet they just found that groove, and then it sounds like something that's like, oh, we found this groove, and the horn players are like, let's play footprints over this. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it sounds good, man.
Let's
the
check out
sound
this
of
song.
everything is really killing.
Yeah, and I think that kind of stutter on it, it's interesting because it starts out, there's such an underlying kind of dance groove element, but that definitely breaks it up. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It breaks it up in a very like, a lot of people just like get irritated by this.
Killing piano solo.
Yeah, it's a nice song. But it opens things up in a way that they can solo, and even like the trumpeter, big Roy Hargrove influence, interesting kind of harmonic things. I like this too. Like, this is not music that works, even as I kind of pull it down and talk over it a little bit, works really well in the background because it's a little bit like, it doesn't fade into the back in a good way, I think. But it sounds fresh. I like their take. I'm assuming these are UK, London guys.
Can we
Is
take
that
it
correct,
back?
Caleb? They've got to be. I mean, it sounds like they're from UK, London. We don't know, but I'm going to say that it sounds like that. When I like it when people sound like they're from a scene,
It's so funny. Can we take it back to our conversation last week about, who killed jazz or whatever?
Yeah.
And then like one of the arguments is like there's no innovation
Yes.
in jazz. How can you listen to that and say like the rhythms have changed in
Right.
15 years?
That's right.
20 years, I guess now.
And you can find the influences,
Jay
but
Dilla and Chris Dave changed the way people play the drums.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not
And
crazy, but it's like there is innovation.
there is innovation, and like there's young people. I mean, it doesn't matter what the age is, but young people coming up with a new perspective on and making a connection with Wayne Shorter's music. Like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like, not that you can't do your own stuff or do new stuff or whatever, but it's like when you take, I mean, the same way they're taking the Jay Dilla, influence on that specific beat and that interpretation of like setting that up and then floating footprints on top of it. Is this the most innovative thing ever? No, but it's fresh sounding. It's like their take. It's something that I think has some artistry involved, and I can understand why this gets a lot of listens,
Agreed.
And count me among them.
Can I take it back, Peter? Can I take it back to 1964?
Yes, sir.
This is something I've been listening to. I've got a couple of Clark Terry things on here because I just did a concert at Jazz St. Louis with the great Anthony Wiggins, St. Louis-based trumpeter, flugelhornist, and we did a little bit of a tribute to Clark Terry, honoring Clark, St. Louis legend here.
Yeah.
Playing a lot of his music. And this wasn't on the show, but I was listening to this a lot because this is my favorite. I think it's one of my favorite recordings of Clark Terry. This is with McCoy Tyner, of all folks. It's one of his incredible early albums on Impulse called Live at Newport. And we talked about this last episode. So
Great
there
period.
are, I think, 5 of these. Inception,
Yep.
Reaching Forth, Nights of Ballads and Blues, Live
Yep.
at Newport, Today and Tomorrow, and McCoy Tyner plays Ellington. They're all amazing, and they're all like just casually slamming. This is the first track of Live at Newport. It's called Newport Romp, obviously just like a blues they put together. And it has Clark Terry on the trumpet and Charlie Mariano on the saxophone. Check it out.
Mickey Roker.
Mickey Roker on the drums, Bod Cranshaw on the bass. Sorry. Transcribed most of this solo a long time ago.
Woo.
So we were just also talking about Now He Sings, Now He Sobs.
Yeah.
Last episode.
Yes. There's a little connection there.
You're going to hear some.
I'm already hearing it. Load it.
How great is that? I just want to get to
This is a good sounding live record,
I
too.
know, man. It sounds so good. I want to get to where Clark comes in because it's so killing what he does. The one and only Clark.
Smattering of applause? That was a damn good
after
solo.
that crushing
Tap it.
solo.
Come on,
It
Newport.
makes us feel a little bit better
Blue
about
Bloods, get it
ourselves.
together, man.
And Clark Terry always bringing the blues to the party.
Woo.
Prime Clark Terry right here. 63 is when it was recorded.
'62.
63, July 63 is when it was recorded. Released in 64. I know Clark doesn't get the same kind of love that like Miles or
Man,
Freddie
he
Hubbard or Lee
he
Morgan
does in my
get.
book.
But you all should go check out all of his albums, especially during this era.
This is a
because,
great. I hadn't. Thanks for bringing this. I haven't listened to
Oh.
this record in at least 25 years.
dude, it is so good. And
Yeah.
Clark's playing on it is just so magical, man. I could listen to him, especially with McCoy, all day long. There's some kind of vibe they have that's really, it shouldn't work and it works great.
Clark Terry influence on, I just heard it and was reminded on Miles Davis, of course, famously, but Wynton Marsalis. Now, Wynton does talk about Clark, but a lot of people don't make that connection. So, but I mean, you really, I almost hear like in Wynton's playing of today, and really for quite a few years, more Clark Terry than I would say Miles Davis.
I think because Clark was such a showman, he was such an entertainer. Like the mumbles thing and the two horn thing,
Right.
You know what I mean? And the blues is always there. That sometimes he doesn't get as taken seriously as Miles or Freddie, who are these intense characters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the dude is playing.
The dude is playing.
You know what I mean? Like he's playing some intense stuff and worth your ears for
Good.
sure.
Well, good. Well, thanks for putting that all up in my ears again. That's a nice thing. The next track I've got is, I don't know a lot about this. I mean, I know a lot about, this is from Kurt Rosenwinkel and Jerry Allen. These are both artists that I love. I adore
I've been seeing
Jerry
this,
Allen's.
yeah.
And I think it was released, I know it was released recently, or at least if it wasn't, I missed it somehow. I don't even know when it's from, but this track, I love this song by Billy Strayhorn, Flowers, Love Something. I love the way they play this. I love how fresh, this could be from last week. I mean, it wasn't because Jerry hasn't been with us for a few years, but it could be from 20 years ago, it could be from 10 years ago, which is probably when it is. It doesn't matter to me. It's timeless. It's a classic already. Let's check a little bit of this out. It's such an interesting combination. Jerry's touch. And then Kurt's. Like the pulsations, like they're breathing. They slide right into that melody. It's like searching, mysterious, weird, kind of brooding. Free. It resolves.
Beautiful.
Yeah, but this will be in the playlist. You can check it out. This is a weird way to listen to it. My apologies, but I wanted to hopefully introduce it to some of you, just for that sound and see if you love it as much as I do. What a loss, Jerry Allen. What a contribution,
for real.
You know? And Kurt Rosenwinkel, someone we've talked about here on the pod, but not
we have
enough.
a little bit, but probably not enough. Also incredibly influential.
good.
Both these musicians, incredibly influential. Like your favorite artist kind of vibe.
Yes, and I want to dive into this because I didn't know about this duo. So this is the only track I've been obsessed with, just listening to this track over and over. And Kurt Rosenwinkel, another graduate of the Performing Arts High School, whose name is escaping me, in Philadelphia, with some incredible talent. We talk about Dallas.
Was at school with Joey D and Christian McBride.
Questlove.
Yeah, I know.
That was Kurt Rosenwinkel. That was nice. And some other great players too. So those are just the superstars.
Well, I got another duo for you. This is Larry Goldings and Melinda Sullivan from their new album, Bigfoot. We've talked about this before. So Melinda Sullivan, incredible tap dancer. Larry Goldings, of course, like incredible keys player, pianist, of course, but also like on the synthesizers, on the organ. And they made this beautiful, haunting album together. And this is Do You Like from Bigfoot.
Do you like...
And Larry was telling us when he was here, he's got an open studio course coming out on organ, that Melinda was doing all of this stuff, obviously no tap shoes, like a lot of socks, some very bare feet, different kinds of shoes, different ways of creating beats. And Larry, just a master of colors.
Oh man, sound creation, sound design.
On acoustic instruments, on synthesizers. Example of, I mean, that's such an innovative track, and just the fact that they're doing this, that a tap dancer and a keys player have joined forces to make an album like this.
That groove, come on.
Is so innovative. But, you know, when Larry is here, he's teaching B3, like, you know, Jimmy Smith style. He sits down at the piano. He sounds like Monk when he wants to.
Larry Goldings is a wizard of artistry.
He's playing with James Taylor. He's playing with Steely Dan. Like, it's this incredible mix of the past blended into the future. It's awesome. Awesome album. Everybody should check it out. It's called Bigfoot from Melinda Sullivan and Larry Goldings.
Great stuff. Okay, my last track is, this caught my eye. Well, it was recommended to me, and then when I saw the name of the tune, I was immediately like, oh yes. So Kenny Kirkland wrote a song, must be at least 30 years ago now, called Dienda. Beautiful composition. I think it was on Branford Marsalis's record. What was the name of the record? I can't remember. Quartet record with Kenny Kirkland and Bob Hurst, Jeff Tain Watts. But this is by a string quartet by the name of Quartet Ebene, which has been around for a minute and done some really interesting things.
Oh, yeah, I know this actually.
Yeah. And like they do some really...
This is killing.
They do some jazzy stuff. And sometimes when a string quartet goes jazzy...
It's not ever great, but they make it work
They make it great. No, they do some stuff. On the same record, they do Milestones, boot, dude, and they're like swinging out. Like,
I know
they do it right. And they're great just string quartet of classical music, European classical music as well. But this is Kenny Kirkland's Dienda.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And those are like his exact voicings he starts with.
so good, man. String quartets make everything sound better.
They can. They really can. We'll just go up to a little bit of the improv from the first violinist because they really nail Kenny's harmony, which is tricky, you know.
You know what a timeless...
Check this out here, right here.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, someone went to Berkeley.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, these are hard changes of solo over.
That's good.
He's really nailing it. It's great stuff. Great stuff.
It's so great. It's so rare, but it's so cool when a string player can blow on changes. We did that project with Jeffrey Keyser, which had Zach Brock on it. Zach's
incredible.
Amazing. Plays with Snarky Puppy and has his own projects. And it's such a cool sound when it's done right. It's just so hard. I think rhythmically, it's so you have to be so careful.
Yes,
because the bow changes everything with the attack and release. And
exactly.
Totally different than any kind of saxophone or piano or anything like that. So
and that's cool, from the Quartet of Bene's Milestones record. Is actually the name of the record.
Cool. All right, I have one. And this will be what we can go out on. This is something that you can't find on Spotify. But I found it on...
I see it right here.
YouTube. No, we're not going to listen to that. That's just a bonus. We got a Clark Terry Bob Brookmeyer bonus in there.
Oh, gotcha.
But we're going to listen to... So I'm putting together, Peter, an episode, and hopefully this will be in the next couple weeks. I'm going to say it now so it actually happens. But I've been texting with Jeffrey Keyser about doing an episode on Memphian pianists.
Oh, Memphisians.
Memphisians. Memphinians. Pianists from Memphis, Tennessee.
Got it.
So there's Phineas Newport. I mean, there's literally 5 or 6 people that are just incredible.
Mulgrew Miller. Is it Mulgrew?
Harold Mayburn.
Yep.
James Williams. And then Jeffrey Keyser, who is from Wisconsin, is an honorary Memphian.
It's the Memphis of Wisconsin where he's from.
That's right. And so I've been listening to a lot of Jeffrey Keyser's catalog. And one of my favorite eras for Jeffrey Keyser was when he was playing in Ray Brown's trio. I saw them live back in the day, and it was an incredible show. One of my favorite albums from back then that I used to own on a CD is, Peter, a CD is it's a compact disc. It's a small, 5-inch disc.
I'm about to throw it at you here.
That's an album.
Oh, that's really?
The mini. Well, that's a compact disc. It's a compact. Okay. This is from.
We're playing cornhole.
The Ray Brown trio.
Cornhole. Cornhole.
Cornholio. This is.
Cornholio.
Yeah, this is from the Ray Brown trio. This is Ray Brown on bass, Kareem Riggins on the drums, and Jeff Keyser back in the day.
Yes.
GK on the piano.
Keys.
This is the first track up there. It is unbelievable. Keyser's playing on here is unbelievable. The whole album's crazy good.
Kareem. Oh yeah, this is a great record. Limited edition.
Anyway, I love Jeffrey Keyser in Ray Brown's band.
Yes.
Because they have such a lock together.
Yeah.
And I felt like they brought out, with Kareem Riggins, they brought out a lot of, as a great trio will, they bring out the best of each other. Absolutely. You know what I mean?
I got a chance to sit in and sub for Jeff Keyser with this trio.
Nice.
Except it was Greg Hutchinson on drums. And that was a little hard shoes for me to fill at that time.
I'm sure you did fine. I'm sure you did fine.
Give me a Frappuccino! You can hear it in the background. Non-fat Frappuccino.
Kareem? Frappuccino for Kareem?
Kareemachino! Well, I definitely hear this. Do you hear it?
You'll hear it.
Me? Moi? Oh. Woo!
the software.